Hola, hola, bienvenidos a Huellas Latinas. Más que una organización, somos una comunidad apasionada por las actividades al aire libre. Mi nombre es Luisana Méndez y quiero que me acompañen porque hoy vamos a hablar de un tema bastante interesante y es que aquí nosotros exploramos la naturaleza y cómo la naturaleza, la comunidad y las acciones colectivas pueden transformar también nuestro entorno. Hoy específicamente vamos a tocar un tema muy cercano a nosotros, pero que también muchas veces no conocemos a profundidad, como es sobre el río Mississippi. Este río que hoy vemos, ¿verdad? Que es un espejo y es un reflejo de recreación, de belleza, de conexión, que atraviesa muchas de nuestras ciudades e incluso todo el país. Hace mucho no tenía esta función. Era un lugar que estaba contaminado y que incluso era muy peligroso. Hoy nos acompañan dos invitadas bastante importantes. Una de ellas es Casandra Champion. Ella es de Principal Environmental Scientist en Metropolitan Council Environmental Services. And also Abby Moore, quien es de Outreach Program Manager at the Mississippi Watershed Management Organization. Y ellas están liderando un proyecto bastante importante llamado Sacred Water Shared Future Campaign, porque ellas están concientizando sobre toda la historia del río Mississippi, lo que pasó hace 100 años, lo que se está haciendo ahora, lo que se quiere hacer en el futuro. Entonces vamos a hablar con ella, vamos a conocer este trabajo, la historia, lo que es importante y vamos a conocer cómo nosotros nos podemos involucrar en las actividades, en este proyecto y lo que está pasando. Las preguntas las vamos a hacer en inglés, so we will ask the questions in English, the interview will be in English. But I was sharing a little bit about the project, talking about both of you, the role you have in both organizations, how important is the information we will talk today, because the Mississippi River 100 years ago was different, how it looks like today. So welcome, Abby and Cassie. We are so happy to have you today here and share all this information with our community, with Latino community, because for us it's very important to understand and connect better with the Mississippi River and learn how we can get most involved with the projects and all the actions, organizations like you are leading. How are you today?
Really good. Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Gracias por invitarnos.
Thank you for being here. I would like if you can tell me a little bit about yourself and how you get involved with this project or specific with the Mississippi River. So in our current life, we can choose everything, but you choose this, and that is and both women, so professionals in the career. So I think that is super interesting. Abby, if you can start.
Sure. So I'm Abby Moore. I'm the outreach manager at the Mississippi Watershed Management Organization. I've been here in this organization for just about 10 years, working really specifically on Mississippi River water quality protection and managing that through watershed management. And I came into this work, I've actually been involved in education and environmental education specifically for a long time, for my whole career. And before I was at the Mississippi Watershed Management Organization, which I'm going to call MWMO from now on because it's shorter. Before I was here, I worked in more focused youth education and kind of on a program management level, and felt really, really called after taking some climate change communications training to work in a really local way with local communities. And so at that point, that was a little over 10 years ago that I took that training, and it kind of caused me to kind of shift my focus. And I wanted to work with an organization that was really focused on local action. And so I found my way here to the MWMO, where we are focused on a 40 square mile area of land right in the middle of Minneapolis. And we also serve some of the suburbs just to the north. And so I feel like it's been a really great opportunity to connect directly with neighborhood groups, with community organizations, with schools, and lots of folks who are just really interested in doing something positive to protect the river. And also a lot of people are really interested just in even learning about this, developing a connection with the river. I can say, having grown up very close to the river in St. Paul, I was aware of it, but didn't have much of a relationship with the river itself until I was an adult. And so it's something that I feel like is really important to me to have developed that relationship and appreciation for this really, really important body of water from which we get our drinking water and provides transportation and beauty and habitat and all these things. It's been really important to me to develop that relationship, and I feel really compelled to help other people in this community connect with the river in a way that they maybe haven't been able to before. And so I guess working with this campaign, I'll let Cassie talk a little bit more about it, but this came up quite a few years ago. Cassie and the Met Council were recognizing that we were about at this 100-year anniversary mark from when the river was declared dead, and felt like it was really important for folks to have an awareness of how much progress we've made in that time on cleaning it up. And so she and some other folks invited our organization to participate, and it's super aligned with the work that we do. And so we've been really excited to work on getting it visioned and prepared and now launched.
Thank you, Abby. Cassie, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you get involved and connected with this project?
Yeah, I think actually, if you don't mind, I'll start with a little story from when I was in high school.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
When I played the clarinet in high school. I was not very good at it, but one of the interesting things that led to is that a high school band from England came to my school during the summer after my junior year, and all of the kids in the band from England did homestays with kids, and we toured around Minneapolis and did a variety of different things in the Twin Cities with this group of English, like British English students. And one memory that stands out so profoundly to me is we were riding a school bus in to watch a Twins game, because of course, if people come from England, they want to see a baseball game, American baseball, that's a big deal. And but we were crossing the 35W bridge across the Mississippi River, and the girl who was staying in my house, her name was Fiona, she turned to me and she said, "I never thought I'd do that." And I didn't even know what she was talking about. Like, what do you mean? Do what? She's like, "We just rode a bus across the Mississippi River." She said, "I never thought I'd even see it, much less cross it." And that really struck me, as we live next to something that's so world renowned and so important. And it's really beautiful and special where we are. And I think it is something that's recognized all over the world. So it's a great thing that we can welcome visitors to and welcome people to move here and be here with us and learn more about the Mississippi River's story. So it's kind of an early memory of mine about how special the Mississippi River is. But I'll share just a little bit about my background and kind of how I came up with this idea of the idea came to me for the Sacred Water Shared Future campaign. So my academic background is primarily in ecology, and then I have a master's degree in water resources management, which was primarily, again, aquatic ecology and hydrology. And so my career has always been in water resources monitoring, the science and technical side of water resources. But I work at the biggest wastewater treatment plant on the Mississippi River. Metro Water Resource Recovery Facility is the biggest and the oldest wastewater treatment plant on the Mississippi River. And I've always been here. So I'm not an engineer. I don't do anything that makes the facility function, but I come here every day for work. And so that really shaped my perspective, I think, in a different direction, thinking about the river ecology, but also the interconnectedness of the the human-built water cycle, our drinking water, our wastewater, our stormwater, all those things are very intimately connected with the natural water cycle, the rain, the snow, the water flowing over the streets and gutters. Those things are not separate systems. And as the cities grew up big in the late 1800s, kind of the 1860s through the 19-teens, that deep interconnectedness led to very severe pollution because the human waste wasn't managed. There were lots and lots and lots of people coming here. Sewers were built pretty early on. By the 1890s, there were a lot of sewers, but those sewers brought the human sewage directly to the Mississippi River, completely untreated. So by the 1926, when they proposed having this water quality survey of the Mississippi River, the results really confirmed what everyone already suspected, that the Mississippi River was essentially a dead ecosystem. And that would not have been subtle to anyone visiting the river. You would have smelled it. You would have seen mats of sewage floating on top. You would have seen methane gas bubbling up through the water surface. Would have been very smelly. And so the U.S. Bureau of Fisheries collected fish from about St. Paul to about Red Wing at different points along the river. And in that whole 42-mile stretch of river, they were only able to collect 3 live fish. So they really, the study really demonstrated the devastation of the huge city growing up so fast on the banks of the Mississippi River and using the river essentially as the sewer for the population of the region. And the response to that 1926 study was to develop a wastewater collection and treatment system, which eventually became a Metro Water Resource Recovery Facility, which is where I work. So that story has been in the back of my head for my whole career. But as this 1926, is like the centennial, that year started coming, I started having a sense that this is a really big story that's so important for our whole region, and it deserves a really wide audience. I didn't want it to just be like a little bit of insider trivia that I shared and talked about with my coworkers. I wanted it to be a lot bigger than that. So I started reaching out and kind of early 2020, looking for partners, just kind of explaining this story and saying, hey, what can we do that would be something really big and public facing as a way to share this story as a hopeful example of what people can do when they work together to accomplish difficult solutions to really intractable environmental problems. So we want this to be a celebration of how far we've come and an inspiration for what needs to come next.
Yeah, definitely this work, the collective work is very inspirational. I am originally from Venezuela, and we have many rivers in the city, but also is a lot of contamination there, a lot of pollution. And projects like this, I think, is so inspirational for other places, other states, and other countries about how important is recovering the rivers and how that is possible, and how we can involve all the live actors in the city to get involved and work together for a better future. So for sure, like urban planning, I say, yes, this is so beautiful. And when I learn about this project, I say, yes, I want to share this with the community, because this show how the city can function when everybody put hands together in something, and something really good and something really big. Talking about the campaign, how did you talk me how a little bit how this start, but how the concept, the sacred water is so important?
Yeah, that was some really, we started doing the planning work in about 2021. And then in 2023, we did a little fundraising among just a few of the planning partners, because everyone who was involved in the planning was doing this sort of on the side of their regular job. We didn't have nobody was a paid staff to pull this together, and that's still how we're doing it. It's our organizations are supporting us to make this campaign come together. So we raised a little bit of money among our partners and contracted with a local design firm, because we knew that coming up with a really beautiful name and a beautiful logo, that was essential, but also not in our capacity, that we would need to get some professional assistance, which is what we did. So we hired a local design firm, and they also in turn contracted with a local native artist, Tiana LaPointe. And so it was they took our materials of what we wanted to do and what we wanted to accomplish, and translated that into the beautiful logo that you can see at the top of my screen.
Yeah, that is so beautiful. And what kind of activities are part of this campaign?
So we're inviting organizations from across the Twin Cities Metro, and even folks in other parts of the state who are connected to the Mississippi River, to participate in the campaign by hosting activities and events that somehow connect folks to the river. And so we really want this to be a wide-ranging acknowledgement of sort of the progress that we've made in the last 100 years, as well as really helping people recognize the importance that we all are committed to continuing to protect the river and improve water quality further, improve habitat quality, excuse me. And so right now on our website, we have an events calendar. And so there's already 80 or 90 events listed on there that are happening all across the metro area. They are anything from paddling, whether it's canoeing or kayaking on the river. There are art exhibits that are connected to water and the river. There are lectures, workshops, really a lot of things. Because the river is so central to our region, a lot of different kinds of activities can be pretty easily connected to ways that we can impact the river. And so we would love it if anybody listening to this who is involved with an organization that hosts any sort of like outreach or community activities, if there's something that they want to do that is a way to recognize this campaign and be part of the campaign, we would love it for them to list those as part of our campaign. And so there's information on our website, which we can share the link, I think, but sacredwatersharedfuture.org is our website. So there's information there about how to join and support the campaign. And you don't have to host a workshop to be involved. There's tons of events. And so you can just click on the events tab on there and see what's going on, see what sounds interesting. Our hope and intention for this campaign is to be inclusive of everybody who lives in this region as possible. So part of the hope is that by kind of casting this information out far and wide, that we'll get participation of all different communities. Particularly for the audience listening to this, we would love to have Latino involvement. We'd love to have Spanish-speaking events as part of this. And so we're happy always to help answer questions or even give thoughts on, what would make a great Sacred Water Shared Future related event, or how people can share information. Again, our website is a great hub for more information about the history of the river, other things that are going on. We've got lots of communications resources that we're sharing. So even if you don't host an event or want to attend an event, but you want to share this information, there's social media posts, there are newsletter articles. We've got lots of things linked in our partner resources on our website that are ways for people to be involved and share information. So really hoping to get as many folks in our region aware of this progress and of the importance of the river as possible out there. And then I guess the last thing, I don't think I really said this, but, I think what we're hoping with this campaign is that we can really help people develop a relationship with the river, and develop some sense of care and agency over, what's happening with the river. And so any kind of activity that helps foster that is welcome and encouraged.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. I think it's a great opportunity in many ways. Our communities and people and organizations can get involved with the project. So what message would you like to leave to the people who about their relationship with the water? So you say it's important people building this relationship, but why? Why that is important?
I love that question because water is so essential. It's taken for granted on a lot of levels. Our bodies are literally 60% water. And I live in Minneapolis, so my drinking water comes from the Mississippi River. I am, in a very literal, visceral way, 60% Mississippi River. It's just really hard to overstate how precious and important water is for us as individuals and for us as a community. Water is usually used as a metaphor for something that is important, but what's the metaphor for water? There isn't a metaphor for water. Water is the crucial, important, necessary element of our life together, our life and our shared life together.
Yeah. I also think that Cassie's story at the beginning of this podcast was such an important illustration of the relationship or lack thereof that so many of us in the Twin Cities have, because the river's just always here and we don't always think about it or recognize what an important entity the river is. And so that focus on building a relationship is just starting with the noticing and the understanding of wow, all the things. This provides our drinking water. This provides all these different things for each of us, but we have to take a little bit of time to notice it. And then also just the understanding of without care, we live in this space. We live next to the river. Everything we do impacts the river. And if we aren't aware of that, then we can end up in a space like we were in 1926, where the river is so polluted that nothing can survive in it. We certainly shouldn't be drinking it. And so I think really just recognizing that it's here, that it's important, that it's beautiful, that there are so many great things that it gives to us. And because of that, we also need to give back to it by caring for it. So really important reasons to work on that relationship between each of us and the river.
Great. If the river could speak today, what do you think it will say to us?
That's a great question. I think that it would say something on the order of, thank you for caring for me and please don't leave me. I think that there's a recognition or there's an importance for us to stay committed to this work. The water quality and the habitat in the river is not perfect. It's better than it was, but we know that it's important for us to stay committed to the work and make sure that people understand the importance of doing the work and the importance of everything, policy, actions, and also just nurturing that relationship and practicing enjoyment. I think a lot of the activities that are part of this campaign of getting out on the river, of doing art by the river, of learning about it, about sampling water and learning about what's in it, doing cleanups, all of these things are ways for us to connect with and enjoy this beautiful place.
Yeah, that's a great answer. I think, come see me. Maybe that's what the river would say. Come see me.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you both for being here, for share all the work you are doing and all the important about the care about the Mississippi River and how all the people, organizations, and communities can get involved. This is, yeah, I really appreciate all this conversation, and I think we are in the a very good stage to share all this information out, they speak out with different communities to get involved too. Switching in Spanish, so, una de las cosas más poderosas que hemos conversado hoy es entender que lo que hoy vemos como el río Mississippi no era así hace 100 años y que eso es gracias a la acción colectiva de muchas personas. Y también es un recordatorio de que la salud o la calidad de este río no está garantizada y que se necesita de algo más, que es el trabajo que podemos construir todos juntos para garantizar un mejor futuro de este río y que sigamos disfrutando de él. Thank you both for sharing all your knowledge, for helping us understand what happened right now with the Mississippi and all the vision we want to for the future. Also, because I say the future of the Mississippi is no guarantee. This is as a working day every day to care about the river. And also, thank you for reminding us the Mississippi River is not just a place, it's a life story every day. And we need to care, and we need to be, the river is also resilient, and we need to be resilient with them. And also, care about the Mississippi is also building a strong community too, because we need the water, we need the river. So thank you both for being here today. Gracias a todos por escucharnos el día de hoy y nos vemos a la próxima.